If you like big, bold curry flavours but don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, this one's for you. Today I'm making my curried chicken tray bake. It's so simple, you'll wonder why you haven't made this before. I hope you're all well. I'm Shane. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. So on Tuesday of this week, I made a throw and go salmon, spinach and tomato pasta dish. It was absolutely delicious. If you haven't checked that video out, be sure to do so. It's one not to miss. Today, another throw and go, which is my curry chicken tray bake. And this is a real winner and one that will have people's tongues wagging for sure. They'll think you spent a lot longer on it than you actually have. So again, it's another one pan meal. Really, really simple. So let's get started. Here, I've just got a baking tray or oven dish. And to that, I'm adding a tin. So 400 millilitres there of coconut milk. And I picked this up from Sainsbury's. It's one to look out for actually. Layla, they tend to do these sort of Far Eastern, well, my Sainsbury's anyway has got a Far Eastern aisle where they do lots of different stuff from around the world. And it's far, far cheaper than buying, say, like a Blue Dragon coconut milk, which was double the price to this. And I've had this one before, and it is equally as good, if not better. So you want that into your dish. And then to that, I'm going to add 400 millilitres of chicken stock. That's it. Leave that there. We're going to need that in a second. Curry powder. So I'm not making up a whole blend of herbs and spices from scratch. I'm going with a store-bought, ready-made curry powder. I'm using a mild one, but if you want this spicier, then absolutely go for the hot or extra hot version, even better. And I'm just going to put some of that straight in. I'm going to go in with about 2 teaspoons, I would say. That's it, get it all in. Again, up the quantities if you want it spicier or more curry flavoured. We're going to add some ginger paste. I'm still going with my ginger paste, and I should finish it off. I want a teaspoon of that. And then here I've got 2 cloves of garlic, which I've just crushed. And just get your little whisk here and just whisk that all together just to incorporate it. Make sure it's all nicely mixed in. That ginger paste is all sort of sticking together there, so I want to make sure that's nicely spread out. That's it, that looks good. Then to that, I'm adding some sweet potatoes. Now I've got 2 medium sweet potatoes here. They've been peeled and then diced into sort of 3 to 4 centimetre chunks. So let's get those in there as well. And then 1 onion, so a white onion, and all I've done is I've cut it into wedges. I've kept this sort of little end bit on where the root system would have been, and it just holds it together nicely. So again, get all of that in there and just spread it all around a little bit. And then we've got here chicken thighs, and I've got skin on, bone-in chicken thighs. How hard are they to get hold of at the moment? Every single supermarket that I've been to, you can either get deboned and skinless chicken thighs, but to try and find skin on and bone in, it seems nigh on impossible. So I ended up going to see my good friends at F. Conisbee's and Sons, local butchers here in East Horsley. Thank you guys for the wonderful meat. And of course, they had them in stock. Try and support our local butchers and farmers where we can. And what I want to do with that is just season it up. So I'm going to put some cracked black pepper. Make sure it's nicely covered, especially on that skin side. And some salt. Nice, plenty of seasoning on these. And then we're just going to lay these into our dish here. And what you want to do is try and make sure that the skin is not submerged in your liquid. We want this skin to start to go nice and crispy. Now I work on 2 chicken thighs per person. So there's 3 of us eating. I've got 6 going in here. Just make sure that fits, hopefully. Yeah, there you go. And that is it. This now needs to go into the oven at 180C fan, and we're going to cook it for an initial 30 minutes. Okay, so the chicken's had its initial 30 minutes. What I want to do now is add a couple of extra little bits in here. I'm just going to remove a couple of bits of the chicken momentarily while I get these bits in. Just makes it a little bit easier. This is probably the most difficult part of this actual dish. And I'm going to add some green beans here. So I've just got some fine green beans which I've sort of topped and tailed. Again, if you don't want the green beans, just leave these out. So let's get those in, submerge them. We'll move. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in as well, which is some spinach. Again, this is optional. I love spinach. And I'm going to put a little bit in there. Do like the greenery. Let's move that piece of chicken over there and just push this all around. We want that chicken skin still to not be submerged in that sauce. So we want to lay this on the top. That's it. Now move that one over there. See what I mean? This is the hardest bit of the whole thing. That's it. That's looking good. Move that one over there. Bit of that spinach around. Bit there. And that is looking good. That's it. My chicken is still sitting above that sauce. Let's replace those bits of chicken. Put them back in there. Probably can't get it all fitted in now. And our last piece back in, and that is it. And that's now going to go back into that oven, still at the 180C fan, for 15 minutes or until those green beans are nicely tender. Okay, so our tray bake is now done and it looks and smells amazing. Have a look at that chicken. It is perfectly crispy. Everything is cooked perfectly, and I cannot wait to get stuck in. It just smells amazing. Right, let's get myself a little plate. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Just add a little bit of chopped coriander over the top. I know coriander is a bit of a love or hate thing, bit of a Marmite type deal going on there, but I happen to really like coriander, but leave it off if you don't. Right, let's get a bit of that chicken. And guys, the chicken is cooked to make sure that the internal temperature is 74 degrees C. Make sure, obviously, you do the same. All ovens do tend to burn slightly differently. Like mine, my top oven always burns a lot hotter than my bottom oven. So you might need to leave it on a little bit longer, or you may not. You might find it's done a little bit quicker. Let's get a little bit of that sweet potato. Love my sweet potato. And obviously, I want some of that sauce. Get a green bean as well. Let's check, see, make sure they're cooked well. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go straight in and try the sauce now. It's got a lovely hum to it, not spicy at all, just a really nice curry flavour to it. And if you haven't got curry powder, if you've got one of those curry paste, the jars of curry paste lurking around in your cupboard, it would work perfectly with this and the coconut milk. Again, you can leave things out. If you don't want to use spinach, you don't want to use the green beans, leave that out, or you can switch it out with something else. I'll be honest, I cook this dish a lot, but I've switched it up today. All of my recipes that I film and put on the channel, I always do dummy runs on my wife and kids, so they get to try it all first. And the spinach and the green beans are a new addition. I thought it would just make a bit more of a complete meal. However, when I cooked it last weekend, by accident, I put the extra hot curry powder in. It blew their heads off. Now for me, I love spice. It was perfect. But they were, puckering their lips and needed tons of milk. Although they did eat it all, they said the chicken was perfect because it doesn't absorb too much of the heat. They liked the sauce, but they couldn't eat a lot of it. So either way, up to you, how spicy you have it or you don't. Anyway, enough of me nattering away. Let's try a bit of that chicken. Perfectly cooked. The skin is still nice and crispy because obviously we've had it exposed, it hasn't been submerged in that sauce. And it has taken on some of that lovely curry flavour too. Sweet potato, it's sweet potato. What else can I say about it? It's nice and soft and cooked perfectly. And the green beans, for me, perfect. I like mine with still a little bit of a bite, and that's what they've got. That is a real winner. Definitely give this one a go. Not being funny, you saw how easy that was. The oven did the grunt of the work while I sat back and did not a lot. And the tastes are absolutely out of this world. Great one to have in your repertoire if you're looking for a quick midweek meal, or if you've got people over and you want to impress and you don't want the stress of making a curry from scratch on the hob and roasting out the spices and everything else, this would work perfectly. We're going to serve it tonight with some nice jasmine rice and some naan breads to mop up that sauce. It will go brilliantly. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. That's it from me for today. I do really appreciate you watching, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please do also like, share and comment. It really is appreciated and definitely helps the channel. If you're looking for other tray bake recipe ideas, don't forget to check out my comfort food recipe playlist, which should be appearing here about now-ish. I'll put all of the details of my curry chicken tray bake down below in the description as always. And all that's left for me to say is until next time, it's cooking good.